People, welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. The Anambra State Governor, Professor Charles Soludo, has started getting results over what he's been pursuing thus far. Don't forget that immediately he came on board as the governor of Anambra State, there have been multiple cases of kidnap, multiple cases of killings and the likes, and that has kind of started him on a very rough note as the governor of Anambra State. But strategists were on ground to see how most of these nefarious activities can be halted and how he can now kickstart his developmental plans. And right now, we have a news for you about the way how he had been able to hit at the kidnappers. You get to see what the security agency has discovered and what the steps that they have taken towards unveiling some of the kidnappers' den in Anambra State. But before we go further with details of the news, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by hitting on the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our videos. Now, according to the news, the Anambra State Governor, Professor Charles Soludo, on Friday demolished a building in Oba Idimili South local government area, which was used by kidnappers to house their victims. Security agents acting on information provided by an arrested gang member had last week stormed the building and rescued three kidnapped victims, including a priest of the Catholic Church, while also recovering the priest's SUV and killing one of the suspected kidnappers. The building, a dilapidated three-room structure, was however demolished on Friday after a joint security team stormed it for more operation. The operation, which was witnessed by many, saw the recovery of charm items suspected to belong to previous kidnapped victims, while a shrine used for fortification of the criminals was also demolished. During the operation, two more suspects were arrested, with one suspected to be a native doctor who worked with the criminal. This is really serious. Meanwhile, Professor Charles Soludo, when addressing journalists later at the Governor's Lodge at Anambra, said that the demolition was in line with the state government policy that any property used to perpetuate criminality will either be confiscated or demolished. Soludo commended the effort of the State Joint Security Task Force, saying the demolition exercise would serve as a deterrent to other criminals. He went further to say that we have made it part of our policy that any property used for criminal purpose in Anambra will be demolished. The building demolished was being used as a den for criminal activities, and the government's policy will not allow any criminal or criminality to reign in the state. Hence, criminals will have no place in any part of Anambra State. I assure you that this government is fully determined to ensure that the state is safe for everyone and that people can move freely around without fear of molestation. He also applauded the cooperation of some people in the state who have been volunteering information, adding that every stranger is suspicious until his or her job is confirmed to be legitimate. He also appealed to the people to be security conscious at all times, urging that they also and always report strange and criminal operating in the communities to security agencies. Wow, this is another feat for the governor. But, looking at this issue of criminality, as much as we are pursuing it, my candid advice at this point is that the issue of job creation should not cease and it should be speedy, because most of these people involved in all this kind of activity is traceable to the state of the economy. The state of the economy is overly rough. Ordinarily, if you want to bulldoze through Nigeria with just one job, it becomes very difficult. And that's why this issue of salary structure must also be reviewed, because when we're talking about fighting negativity and all of that, that's criminality in Nigeria. It's not just running around the bushes and all of that. There are people in their individual offices who are using their pain for purposeful criminality. They are stealing enough money from the government. They are doing all manner of criminal things inside the office. Now, when you look at the factors responsible for it, which is also making the outside criminals to be increasing on a daily basis, is the issue of the standard of living, or let me call it the cost of living, not standard of living, the cost of living. Things are damn too difficult. You know, real sometimes I keep wondering, those that earn as little as 30,000 naira with children in the house, how do they survive if people who are earning 100,000 naira finds it very difficult to live a decent life? What I mean by decent life, a life where, their health and every other normal thing they need to take care of, they can take care of it without stress, their bills and the likes. It's difficult. So I really am happy that this is happening in Anambra State, because at least this thing is curtailing the activities of this criminal. But at the same time, there should be more focus on the issue of, creating job opportunities for people, empowering people, young men who are involved in any. I'm not talking about those who come to the office to begin to beg, thinking that they can live their lives on begging and all of that. No, look for young men who, even if they have little shops here and there, increase their finances, give them grants, because as at now, looking at the way things are going, if you give people loan to pay back the loan, sometimes it's very difficult. Create an avenue where you take out time to go through their businesses, how long they have been in their businesses, how committed they are to their businesses, and give them grants. And as you're giving them grants for the young folks who are coming up, make them to be linked up to these other people for training. That will help to curtail this issue of criminality, because whether we like it or not, an idle man is always, from the days of John the Baptist till today, it will always be the devil's workshop. And whenever the devil wants to glorify himself, he plays in the minds of these young people. And I feel that we shouldn't even allow them to test of that thing called criminality, because what makes a lot of people, even after there are opportunities for them to explore, they still stay back in their criminality, is because criminality seems to be paying better than any kind of job that they can do. For example, someone goes out in kidnap and then have as much as 2 million people, 2 million naira, and then by the time they share it among their groups, they end up with maybe 200 or 300,000 naira. Then there's a job that is paying them as little as 30,000 naira. Before you know, they won't want to go through that patience of collecting that 30,000 naira and doing something with it. They would like to go the fast way. So to make sure that we don't even allow our people to go into it, the government should create more job opportunities so that young people are not even being attracted to such things. Another thing, infrastructures and the normal amenities should be on ground. It's really disheartening for you to see yourself. You're trying to go to work on a rainy day. The road is not even something that you can march on. Or everything seems to be not working with. There is no light. There is no good access road. There is no pipe-borne water. Everything seems to be negating your business ideas and all of that, causing your idea of business, to diminish. I feel that the government should also look into this. But thumbs up to Mr. Governor for the huge achievement in the area of insecurity. At least being able to clamp down on these boys will restore peace in that environment to a great deal. That's where we're going to leave it. Go to our comment section.